like one of those biodegradable things. That plastic one isn't. I'll stick it where the sun don't shine. Aren't you daft? Pretty teamless decorations. Seed of Ode. Yeah, I know, it's great, isn't it? I can't wait for that food. Looking forward to it. I will.
You can't have two of them.
Okay, I'm going to turn it off in a minute. Anyway. Now, I told my mum, right, a bit ago, I said, right, because it's my, it's been years since advent calendar. I thought I'd treat myself to one. So I told my mum what I was going to do, and she said, no, I've already got one. And I was like, oh, yay. And she's like, oh, now you spoiled the surprise. But anyway, it came a couple of days ago. It arrived, or at least my mum put it out. I think she probably got it ages ago, and she put it out on the 1st of December. It's not chocolate, it's just like ornaments to put on a tree. Little ones. And we've got this teeny tiny little tree here. So we decided to put them on. So here's a few. So these teeny tiny ones here. That was the first one. I'll get to the main topic in a minute. I just wanted to talk about this because it's something that I was going to treat myself to. There's another one somewhere over there. I'll show it to you in a bit. So yeah, that's our little centerpiece for the table. And this is what I've done decoration-wise so far. It's not really much yet, but obviously it's only the start. I haven't decorated much at all today. I'm going to put this on the banister. Oh, something's fallen off. Oh, this is my grandma, by the way. Look, I've got a picture of my grandma. I don't know who that woman is. That's just a random passerby. That was before everybody got so sensitive about, being in pictures and videos. When people were normal and civilized back in the 50s or whatever. So that's a random passerby who didn't moan at my mum for taking the picture. I don't, as far as I know, she didn't moan at my mum for taking the picture. Hey, that's not very nice. Someone put a like on my thing, but they've taken it away. How fucking rude. How rude is that? They put a like on it, but a thumbs up, and now it's gone. That's so rude. But anyway, there she is. So I'm sorry about the light. It's one of those shiny pictures. Anyway, that's very rude. I'm very disappointed someone took her like away. Or is it because I said people didn't used to be sensitive back then? Didn't used to be sensitive about being in people's pictures. Or about white people existing. Sorry, apparently a bunch of people are offended by white people. So apparently, I know it's not part of the topic, but I did say I was going to talk about other topics, right? Apparently, it's offensive to be white now because we're all automatically think we're superior to every race. And we all automatically think that we have white privilege or something. So, other races have got to have their own safe space away from white people because we're so bad and we're so thinking we're so superior to everybody else, aren't we? I mean, look how superior, look at everybody. She didn't look, to be honest with you, she didn't look white to me, actually. She looks like some kind of minority, in my opinion, but as far as we're concerned, she isn't. Look at that face, isn't she beautiful? Look at her fluffy fluffer hair. People will love that. What else have we got? There she is again. Grandad's face has kind of been ripped here. Oh, what a shame. There she is again. When she was younger. And that's Grandad. Looking very ripped off. But you can just about see his face. Sorry about the rip. We don't know what happened. We've got some current ones. And there's Grandad in that picture there, which you can't see. Very good. Really cute. Okay, and this is pole dark because we're watching that now. I know it's been going for like millions of years, but we just started watching it now. My mum loves it. I love it too. So she printed that picture off of pole dark. She liked him in that outfit in particular, but every time we tried to take a picture of it, it wouldn't be very good. So she printed that picture off. And as usual, here's Squash. I made a video of Squash with some mewing in the background. I thought it was cute. Oh, so cute, big fat fluff. So cute. Anyway, so I would say that mindset is very primitive, or how white people think that they're superior to everybody else. I don't think we do these days. I don't really think we do, because everybody's made it clear that we're rubbish. So I don't really think that anybody thinks that anymore. When I was growing up, I didn't know anything about all of this stuff, politics and shit, right? I didn't know that I didn't even know that black people were slaves, by the way. I knew that obviously slaves existed, but I thought that white people were slaves. I didn't know black people were slaves growing up. So I remember, not like a mall or an arcade, but it was just like this old building, and you go into it and there's like loads of stalls and shops and stuff, like little rooms that you could go in, and they were like shops. It was really cool. Anyway, so there's this particular shop type thing that was, I think, owned, or at least she worked there, this black woman called Millie. So I'm going to say her name because we're sort of honouring her in this video, because I absolutely loved her to bits. Because growing up, I always really loved black people so much, to the point where I wanted to be black myself, because I just loved the skin colour, and I loved how big and bunchy and thick their hair was. I just loved it so much. Oh, hi Richard, by the way, sorry about that. So anyway, I loved her, but I remember, so we're in the shop, so the shop was like a dressmaker type thing, and they had all these dresses. And I was, the typical, stop licking your bloody cock. I was a typical, girl growing up wanting to be a princess and everything, and all these dresses were like pink and blue and pastel coloured sort of princess dresses. They were like, party frocks and stuff. Like, they're probably like bridesmaid dresses, that sort of thing. Anyway, I bought a couple from there, and I think she made them as well. And I remember, because we're on the subject of me being a princess and everything and having these beautiful clothes, I said that I wanted slaves. I said that to a black woman because I didn't know. And my mum, like, when I left the room or whatever, she was like, she had to explain to her, like, that I didn't mean it like that because I didn't know. Don't forget, I was like this innocent kid. I was like, how old was I? Not that young, actually. I was like 10. Because it was after Grandma died that this sort of happened. I think, yeah, I think I was either 10 or 11. Anyway, so yeah, I just didn't know. I don't know why, it just never sort of came up until years later. My mum did that was like the first time hearing about it. My mum did explain to me afterwards. So she explained to the woman, Millie, and then she explained to me afterwards that, like, I shouldn't have said it because black people were slaves many years ago. And yeah, I didn't know. Well, so when I said I wanted slaves, I meant I want white slaves. Servant that's not paid. So I just thought anybody could be. And it is true. There has been, and probably still are, slaves of all sorts of races. So yeah, it's true. I just didn't know predominantly black people were slaves back then. Anyway, like I say, I didn't mean to offend her. She was really lovely, and I just didn't know. I didn't even know that, like, slavery was bad back then. I just thought, oh yes, you get to have slaves, but you get to have servants, but you don't have to pay them. Yay, it's great, it's wonderful, it's marvelous. Because apparently servants are very expensive and it's a luxury that only rich people can afford. So I thought, oh, I want slaves instead, because I can have that for free. So that's all I thought as an innocent kid. You just think, oh, it's innocent. Anyway, sorry, that's not really the topic, is it? I'm sorry. I should talk about these things afterwards, really, rather than the first thing I talk about. But I think it's really shit that somebody took a like away. I hadn't even talked about anything controversial when they took the like away. I went from talking about tinsel to talking about these old photos, and suddenly my light went. I thought, oh, that's rude. That's rude. I just went, all I said, pictures back then. Pictures back then, or I'll get offended, or like, oh yes, I'm guilty of something, so I mustn't show anybody's pictures or videos. I'm probably in a few. I'm pretty sure people have recorded me without my knowledge, and yet they have a gone go at me for doing it. I honestly, yes, I saw. I was in, enemy base. Morrison's. I'm not shying away from naming people anymore because I realised people only had a go at me because they were guilty, and they didn't like the fact that I was outing them. So that's not my problem. So Morrison's enemy base. So if anybody who works at Morrison's is watching this, I don't give a shit, right? But anyway, it's not about anything bad anyway. So, but when I was at the barista, I was looking around as I always do, people watching while I waited to be served, and there was somebody over at the sort of cigarette news stand bit over there, and they were obviously filming me because they were like facing that way, and she had the phone like here facing me. It was obvious that she was recording me. So yeah, I've featured in somebody's videos, but I could complain to I bet they wouldn't even care, if I complained to Morrison's about being recorded. I bet they wouldn't give a shit. But this person comes along and goes, "Oh, I have anxiety and I'm sensitive and I'm a special snowflake," and because I mentioned though I have anxiety too, but that doesn't matter because I'm the perpetrator, aren't I? I'm the criminal. Disgusting behaviour. Because I'm outing them. I thought I'd put out the video because they're always very long anyway. These. And I have to amount of viewers. Then I start talking about the main topic. But then I realise, but people will probably watch it afterwards. So when people watch it afterwards, it's gone dark. When people watch it afterwards, they'll probably only watch the first 12 minutes anyway, which is like it's 12 minutes in now. So most people probably just watch 12 minutes in, 20 minutes to half an hour in, and then they probably click off. So maybe it does behoove me to talk about the main subject in the first 10 to 20 minutes. But I tend to just do it because I like the live interaction, Hey, Brad. So I've got this shirt that I found. I've had it for years. And I've just had it washed. It's kind of small and tight because I got it when I was dead thin. But it still fits. Obviously a bit tight here. Like I say, clothing makers don't seem to actually realise that you need to make the chest part more roomy for people with massive gazungas for some unknown reason. It's not really new. I've had it for years. There you go. It's kind of short. There it is. I've just got it tucked in. It probably looks better not tucked in. Just don't like this. It's just too plain, isn't it? I like something fancy here. That and it's gold and it's got like these suns on it, and it's got like these two tassely things here. I thought that was cool. I'd love to get one of those. She said she gets all her things from like charity shops and shit. So we're going to talk about stuff, and then after I've talked about stuff, I'll show you guys. I've finally got my drawing pad down here, so I'm going to show you the latest art that I've done. I've not really done too much since the last live stream, but I've done a few. And I'll show the same ones for those who haven't seen it as usual. There's some more controversial pictures. Yeah, see there's like, so I've got, I think I showed that one actually. 2, 3, 4. I've only got 4 new pictures. I feel bad that I've not really drawn much, but I try not to draw too much anyway because I've got like loads of things to colour in later. I'll talk about the main topic now. I've got about 5 views. Let me just it does look better untucked, but best stay warm. Going to at first, I thought, oh, the grey's not going to go with it at all. I love these leggings. These are so warm. I don't need to put like loads of layers on because these are so warm. I'm going to show you the full look before I go outside. I'm going to go outside with the dog. I haven't got a tail and ears on or anything, so I'm really sorry about that. I was going to just wear these because it's Chrissy Tina, so I bought these new. Don't tell my mum. As far as she's concerned, I've always had these. But these are actually new. I like the fact they've got ears as well as antlers. Because most of them just have the antlers. I want some realistic ones, actually. I want some realistic antlers. I wasn't sure whether to go out wearing these when I go out. I couldn't today because I had to wear a hood. It's so rainy and windy and horrible. Untucked. Right, I'll show you what it looks like untucked. It is warmer like this. I've tucked it into my butt enhancer. It's easier than tucking it into these loose. It's loose here. Well, I bought these when I was dead skinny, and they're from store 21 in Ashton, which doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately. He's ironing because that doesn't stay down there. I don't think these orange antlers really go with the pink freaking shit. Orange antlers! Orange antlers! This one's stretchy, yeah. So I got these when I was dead skinny, but they were actually size 10, and they're still kind of loose on me. I can't believe I've not been wearing them like previous winters because they are very warm and bunchy. I don't need to wear anything else. So I've got the boots on with them, the long boots. Then I've got the jacket. No! 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 It's not meant to happen, is it? Sorry about that. Anyway, so as I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I wasn't. I lost my scarf. So, I'm a dodgy businessman here to try and sell you something. This feels wet, by the way. I don't know why. So that person I told you about said she found my videos as well. Okay. So I'll talk about the subject in the title. So I always, because they've been banging on about weight loss stuff for such a while now, especially after lockdowns and shit. But they seem to just really be having a and saying, oh, you've got to be thin, and oh, yeah. And even fat celebrities that have been fat for many years have suddenly lost weight. And it's like, oh, that's shit. So the only people representing fat people who were famous, they've also lost weight now too, which is shit. Even that big fat chaser Mark, the Beast, has lost weight, and he looks like an old man now. He must be in his 30s, but he looks like he's in his fecking 50s or something. So weight loss doesn't always look good, especially when you go from being really fat to being thin. So I wouldn't really think that it's always a good thing. Yes, I know. So I'm gonna take these off now, just because I want to put my hood on. Right, you up? Go on, up, lazy. Go on, move. I know she has. I saw an article about it. Like I say, they've really been plugging all this weight loss stuff because I've got MSN as my main sort of home page thing, you know, my browser. And it's always there's always like at least one advert, but there's usually two. Not adverts, like articles, aren't they? Articles. There's always at least two articles. And you can scroll forever. There's articles forever. It never ends. But if you scroll further down, you get more and more about fucking... Yeah, it's Bing, isn't it? Yeah, Bing News. But it says MSN, so I don't really know. They look silly in orange. Who looks silly in orange? I don't know what we're talking about there. Anyway, so if you scroll quite far down, there's quite a lot of them. And I've done videos about it before, because I've done videos scrolling down showing all the, not just weight loss adverts, but adverts like going on about, oh, look at this person's vigorous, horrible. I like, why can't we just embrace like softer men? It's not like, you know, if you show softer men, it's not like it's going to like, they think, oh well, you know, it'll encourage people to get fat if we show them, and I'm like, not really. I really doubt it, but okay. But you know, if they're so afraid, then they don't have to show like super obese people, but just show thin people who just have a bit of softness on them, because I think they look a lot nicer. than everybody be ripped or just like super thin or anything. I don't even know where it started. Like, I don't even know like who decided that being thin as possible was the best. Was best. I mean, you can actually be healthy at every size. It is possible. Even really, really fat people. It was sort of, there was this documentary type thing where this, he didn't really do this obviously, but this man went inside a fat person's body. It was like saying, oh, this is what this fat person's body looks like on the inside, and this is what's happening to their body, his body, because it's really fat. And he abuses his body by drinking like gallons and gallons of beer and alcohol, and loads of big fat, rich, greasy, disgusting food every day. And it actually showed that he was fucking okay. Like, he wasn't healthy. He wasn't healthy. Apparently he got like virtually strangled when he was trying to sleep by the fat around his lungs and stuff. So yeah, fair enough. That's a health problem. But they said that his body was actually so used to eating and drinking like he does that his body has sort of adapted to the point where it doesn't really bother him. Like, apparently there's this like thing inside. I don't know, it's like a container inside your body. And it gets to this certain level of something, like it showed it in liquid form. And instead of overflowing, it just gets bigger and bigger to accommodate how much you're eating and drinking. It's something to do with, like, it's basically showing you this is what happens when you get, was it diabetes or something? So when you get diabetes, it's because this thing has filled up so much that it's now overflowing with something. To be really big and fat and eating like shit. So that's alright. Come on, JD, let's go outside. So your body just adapts to eating and drinking really badly, and you know, you're not really that unhealthy if you just do it gradually over time. Come on, JD. Come on in before the door closes, you idiot. Idiot. Quit making so much noise, or alert my mum, and then she'll go. It's not a healthy thing. Will you stop trying to push past me? Just stay there. Peeing on my, whatever that thing's called, sun lounger. I think I know the show. The Mantless Victorian Ladies. You know the show, it's just one documentary, it's not really a show. Adapts to your thing. It can adapt to take the abuse. I know. Well, you've heard, I mean, it's abuse to be like super healthy as well, because you've heard of athletes and super healthy people dropping dead. And it's probably because they're so good that the slightest thing and the body can't handle it. Because they're so, you know, I don't know, delicate at this point. So they can't, so they'll have probably never eat burgers. They have one burger and then they just drop dead or something. Or maybe it's because they exercise too vigorously. Like when they're doing the athlete stuff and the exercise, and they do the athlete stuff, whatever athlete stuff they're doing, whether it's racing or cycling or whichever kind of athletic career they've chosen. They push their body too hard, either when doing the sport or when they're actually exercising. That their body just, no, fuck off. Can't handle it, you know. They can't really handle it. They push their bodies too far, I think. I think a bit of exercise. My mum said that yoga and walking is really the only exercise you need. You don't need to lift weights. You don't need to do all this vigorous stuff. The only time you need to be that muscular is when you're doing a job that requires you to be that muscular. It's not really necessary. You shouldn't just do it to suppose look good. Some people can pull it off, but not everybody looks good. There's loads and loads of guys with nice bodies that I would love to see shirtless, but you never do. I never get to see them. Because I just don't date anyone, so I don't get to see anyone shirtless ever. Unless I happen to be lucky enough to see it on Instagram or some shit. So I follow a lot of fat people and chubby people on there. So that's all I get to see. And it's not fair, you know. People like me need to be catered for as well. They should have fat people shirtless on TV, in films, in TV programs. I'm like watching Paul Dark, and there's this guy, right, and I think he's called Tom Harry or something. And he's fat. And he's like, he's kind of a main character in it, but he's barely ever shown. If you do see him, you see him on the screen for 2 seconds, or from like the sort of waist up. You never see him. He doesn't really have much of a role, but you see him like in most episodes. And it really sucks. I thought I'd like to see him more. I'd like to see him as more of a main character. And have a love interest. But I've noticed they never give the fat people a love interest. The fat people are always just side characters. He's actually not. He's not really the classic, oh, we'll make this fat people a comic relief or a ridiculous character. He's not actually. He's a very terrifying, scary, serious character. He's one of the bad ones. He's a bad guy. So that's alright. I like fat people as bad guys as well, because I always favour the fat people. I always favour the bad guys anyway, because I always find the bad guys cooler than the good guys anyway. I just love it when they're like dead greedy for power and money. So if there's like a big fat like villain or something, that's always dead cool for me. Some people complain about it, saying, oh, fat people are not represented very good because they're always villains. And I'm like, yeah, because villains are cooler. Villains are cooler. What's fun about being the good guy? You're just like a freaking simp or some shit. A bad guy's like, oh yes, I'm superior and I'm going to get all the money and all the power and I'm going to rule the world. I don't know whether you call him an extra. He has more of a role than an extra. And films, they're actually better looking than the main characters. Like in Bridgerton, there's a whole host of really handsome extras and beautiful women extras. And I'm like, why can't they be main characters instead? Even if they're just in it for a couple of episodes. You know, why can't they have more of a role? He's an extra. So yeah, so I wouldn't really recommend like getting super fat, but for people who are already fat, it's not like, if it's your choice to lose weight, or you personally are having a problem, like you have health problems and you want to lose weight, then do it. You know, if you decided to do it. But I just can't stand the fact that the media's like, oh, fat is bad and fat is ugly, then you must lose weight, and oh, look at all these things and buy our products and shit. So anyway, I now know why they do that, and now it's because it's... So the agenda is, let's deliberately make people feel bad about themselves. So they'll buy our products, or classes, or seminars, or whatever the hell, the regime or whatever. So they're not just trying to sell a product and for you to buy it if you want to buy it. Like, oh, well, I'm already losing weight because I want to lose weight, so I'm going to, you know, buy this product. And it's like, that's fine. I don't mind that. So they advertise a product. It's like, yeah, you know. It's out there. It's out there. For people who want it, for people who just happen to already be wanting to lose weight for whatever reason. That I don't have a problem with. But it's the fact that I've now found out that people are actually deliberately advertising fat as being ugly and disgusting and unhealthy, and you must lose weight whether you like it or not. That's a problem. And it's like, oh, we're only going to show muscular men and skinny people on TV because, oh, you know, you've got to believe that that's beautiful. But any other body shape or size is ugly and disgusting. It's like, no. It's like even something from 1,000,000 years ago. Even modern. It's kind of modern, but you know, it's still from a long time ago. It's called Let's Be Cops. You might know it. We watched that, and it's like the main character is kind of, I wouldn't even say he was chubby, but he does have some meat on his bones. But he does go shirtless because he's like at this, I can't remember why now, but he's at this place and there's all these like horny women. And they were all like, you know, turned on by him and everything until he rips his shirt off and they see that he's got less than 6-pack abs and it's like, ew. And it wasn't even disgusting. It wasn't even that bad. It was just slightly softer than rock hard abs. And it's like, here we go. It's like, this is what women want as well. So it's like, whether it be really naturally what women want or they've been sort of groomed to like that. It's like, oh, women all want absolutely rock hard 6-pack abs, and if it's slightly less than that, oh, it's disgusting and fat. Like, oh, disgusting. It's like, why can't they just be revered for once? Like, show that they can be desirable. Have the women go, oh my god, he's so hot. He's got a big fat overhanging flabby belly, but he's so hot and sexy. That would be awesome. Or at least have one of them do that. In fact, there was another one that we watched. I can't remember when now. Oh yes, it was after my mum had her hip break and she came home. And my dad came for the first time. And we watched a film. All of us together. And my dad seemed to be very excited about watching something called Bad Moms 2, I think it was. We hadn't even seen Bad Moms, the first one. And he wanted to watch Bad Moms 2. So we watched it. And there was again a scene in a bar. It was a Christmas film, I think. Oh, was it? I can't remember. It might not have been Bad Moms. I don't know. I think it was. Anyway, so there's a scene in a bar again, and they were having like this competition of who's the sexiest Santa, and it was all a bunch of shirtless, muscular men. But there was one at the end who was fat and flabby. He was absolutely gorgeous and sexy, but of course when it was his turn to take his shirt off, all the women were like, ew, disgusting, ew. And it's like, why can't you have at least one woman? It's like, if I was there, I would be like, oh yes, that's hot and sexy. Surely out of all these people, like fat people, so they must be out and about at some point. You know, it's not like they're all going to be in a cave. Or all just go to certain, you know, like, oh, you know, we'll go to shops and cafes and bars where only fat admirers go. Like, they must be out in the world at some point. They're not just going to all be always online or go to specialised bloody places. So there's going to be the odd chubby chaser out and about in the real world. So it'd be nice to represent that as well. So if you could have, like, in a crowd of women going, ew, to this fat guy, be like one saying, oh yes, that's sexy. Because that would actually be more realistic. It's always been a stereotype. Oh no, what a shame. It's always been a stereotype. They're not that rare, but they're never represented. It's like someone's going to be, surely. Like, I've never met one, you know, in the real world, in the wild, as they call it. I've never actually met a fat admirer in the wild. Only on specialised websites like Phoebe and Facebook. Unrare. That you'd think you'd come across the odd ones. It's like, I'm going to talk about controversial things now. It's like gay people. It's like, surely many years ago it must have been hard to find gay people because they were more rare and sort of more hidden. So finding other gay people would be kind of hard. But somehow they always managed to find each other. In the wild! They didn't have specialised, like I said this before the internet, they didn't have specialised websites that they could go to meet each other on. And it's not like you could go up to people in the street and go, oh, are you gay? Because I'm gay, so, oh, are you gay? You know, before I start hitting on you, and it's like, oh. They somehow found each other. Somehow. It's like, no, that doesn't happen in real life. How do you do it? It's like, me, I can't find anybody. I've never once been hit on by a woman. Never. So if I wanted to meet a woman, I would have to go to specialised clubs, bars, or websites. You don't meet them in the wild. You probably would these days, but it'd still be inappropriate to just go up to someone and go, oh yes, are you gay? Oh, me too. Yay, let's go out together. It's like, no, that doesn't Like online, you can just sort of go slide into someone's DMs and go, "Oh, hello, are you single? Yes, me too. Let's date." It's like you can't do that in real life unless you're a child, because children do that. I remember I saw this thing. It's like a film, right? And this girl just went up to this boy and said, "Right, you're my boyfriend now." And he was like, "Okay." It's like, so unless you're a child or you're online, you can't just go up to people and start talking to them in real life. Or old. That's another one. Old people do. Old people just come up and start chatting to you about any old random stuff. It's cool. It's so cool. You have, though. What do you mean I have? I have what? And there's a will, there's a way. I find it really hard to meet people and date, though. Like, I've been single for fucking 8 years or whatever it's been. How do people actually date? Everybody else seems to find it easy. I think winning the lottery is more freaking likely. Not really, I'm just kidding. I like to exaggerate. Okay, let's do it this way. It's as difficult and as rare for me to meet people to either be friends with or date as it is impossible to win the lottery, or unlikely or rare. So I must just have the weakest energy on planet Earth. Like, I guess people, they want to do something and it happens for them because they have strong energy or something. But I must have this really weak energy, or this like force field that says stay away. Like a big invisible bubble that says no, people stay away. I have terrible energy. I have aura. Also, it was like an aura around me that keeps people away or something. Because everybody else doesn't seem to have. It's not just dating or meeting people. It's everything. It's like I've been at this whole art thing for many years. Since I was like 4, so all my life, and I still haven't gained any success with it. I get probably like 1 commission a year if I'm lucky. Like this year I've had a commission, but it's nearly at the end of the year. I got the commission in August or September. I still haven't finished it because I just can't get it right, actually. I mean, it was right when my mum decided there's a bunch of things wrong with it. I can really tell. Like, it looks convincing, and even my mum said she liked it, and she said I wouldn't change it, I would leave it as it is because it is good as it is, but because it's a commission I've got to get it right, so I've got to basically start again. And it's like, and this guy, right, and he just draws like these really cartoony, crappy, childlike drawings of people's pets, and he's making 200 quid. 200 quid per crappy, childish drawing. Darn close to me. I think it's low standards, maybe. Wait, who's got low standards? Me? She's seeing things that aren't there. Alright. You have, though. You mean I have as in been hit on or met girls that are gay? I don't know. Yeah, that was lucky, but she didn't hit on me. Actually, I kind of hit on her. But now this has happened to me before when I used to do the boy thing before, which I am transgender male now. But when I was doing it before I had that sort of gap year, it's hard to describe it, but you know what I mean, where I decided I'm going to be a girl. Before then, when I was doing it properly, when I was like 18 or something, doing it properly, you know what I mean, when I was sort of committed to being a male, I was on this site, right? And I've told you this before, I was on this site, right, and there was this girl, right, and I hit on her and asked her out, and she said, "Oh," because she was very nice. We were good friends, and she was like, "Oh, I'm not really interested in dating at the moment." But then the next minute, she had like a status thing come up saying, "Oh, I'm so excited to go on my first date." And I'm like, "Oh, no, it's just me you didn't like." And that happened with Becky number 2. She doesn't watch my streams, as far as I know. And even if she does, it doesn't really matter. But I did kind of flirt with her a little bit. And her response to like me kind of asking her out, kinda, not like officially, but kinda. She was like, next minute, it's like, oh, I've got a girlfriend. It's like she said, oh, well, I'm sorry, but I can't, date you because I've just come out of this relationship and it's too soon right now. But then like a week or two later, she's, oh, yeah, you've got a girlfriend. I'm like, yeah, you're just rejecting me. So, yeah. And I've been told I'm good looking, so it can't be the fact that I'm hideous. Like, I really was hideous as a boy, though. Like, when I had short hair and everything, I looked hideous. I don't know how you could be good looking, but then look hideous with short hair. Someone surely who's good looking would pull off any hairstyle, but I didn't. I looked proper ugly with short hair. Proper ugly. And people told me I was ugly too, so I thought, oh, that must be the reason then. So this girl that, what's her name, rejected me, and she must have thought, oh, I don't really want to be with you because you're ugly. So yeah. You look better now you've gotten a healthy weight. She had a stream is running like a potato. Oh dear. Is it all shit? Okay. So maybe you were a bit anorexic back then. I don't know, I looked shit even because there was a time when I was about 16, I was quite fat. Well, I was healthy weight. Yeah, I didn't like my circle walk. Yeah, I do that for too long. Stop licking whatever the hell you're licking on the floor. I'll show some of my art now. It's been like nearly an hour. I'll show my art now. Yeah. It's probably not really for other people to stop doing that. Go on, shoot, go away. It's probably not for anybody else to figure out, but it would be nice. It's like there are like I get all these adverts, right, for all this self-help stuff, like Mind Valley and stuff like that. And it like shows you this like these master classes. Oh yes, this is going to improve your life and you'll get everything you ever wanted because it'll change your energy. Well, they say, oh, we're going to tell you what to do to change your energy so things that you want gravitate towards you. And it's like, I really want to do those things, but it costs money, which I don't have. And it's like most of these things are about how to get money. And it's like, surely, but if I'm purchasing on all your master classes, I'm not going to have money anyway. It like defeats the object. So basically, I need something free that's going to tell me what the hell I'm doing wrong. So I see everybody around me getting everything that they want in life. Yeah, there probably is. That's another thing, yeah. So not only is it lack of money that's stopping me from doing it, but I think it might be a scam. But I think these scams are based off of real things. So I think there probably is like a thing you can do to improve your life. Mostly fake advice. It sounded pretty good in the adverts, but you're right. This is one of the reasons why I don't do it, because I think they're probably a scam. And there's so many of them. It's like, which one do you pick? Anyway, which one do you spend your money on? And it's like, oh, well, I'll just wing it like I've always done. And it's like, so there'll be some... There's no easy way or shortcuts. There'll be some years, not many, but I've had the odd sort of year or time when loads of things will happen for me and I'm like, oh, what did I do right? What did I do right? And it's like, well, the house was still cluttered back then, so it can't be the house being cluttered that's getting in my way then. But it's just like certain times when things will go right, like, oh, what year was it when I had a few commissions? And there was this particular year where I went to loads of events. And there was that year when I got 2 boyfriends at once. It was like there was nothing. And then this year I got 2. And then this year I got 2 men interested in me. So I dated both of them. I know that's wrong, but it's like, well, I've had years of being single and years of being unpopular. And now 2 blokes, and I couldn't choose between them. They were both fat. One person was local. The other one was fat. Local. The other one was fat, and handsome, but lived far, far away. So it was hard to pick, so I just dated both of them. Of course, everybody was pressuring me to pick one. So I was like, so I did feel pressured at the time, and it made me feel ill, and I did get really stressed over it. But as it happened, I can't say they both dumped me at the same time, but I broke up. Both of them were. Oh, it's hard to say because I can't say I broke up with them or they broke up with me because that's just not true. One of them broke up with me, and the other one I broke up with them. So we all broke up at the same time. But I thought, oh, this is great. But yeah, typical, horrible, terrible person. I know, but I like the idea that if one dumped me or whatever, I left one of them, I had the other one as a safety net. And I know that's a horrible thing to do. But don't forget my circumstances is that I'd never had a boyfriend before, so these were my two. I mean, I did have boyfriends before, but they were online. I'm not sure if that really counts. My mum says it doesn't count. She said online boyfriends don't count. So I don't count them. I did at the time because I thought it was still exciting. And I thought, well, why would it get to them? They didn't know. I lied through my teeth. I told both of them that the other one was just a friend. So they didn't have any pressure. It's just that one of them met somebody else. The classic met someone younger than me. Don't forget I was only like 23 at the time, so I wasn't exactly old. But he met someone his own age, was like 20, 21 or something at the time. And the other one was just like borderline abusive, so I had to break up with him before it got any worse. So I had to get rid of them. I had to get rid of that one. So I decided to pick the good-looking long-distance one, but he's the one who broke up with me because, I've met somebody better. Like, he literally said that. He literally said, I met someone better. Like, I like you, but I like her a lot better. And it's like, you were here, but now you're down here, and she's up there. And it's like, oh, okay then. And you're like, but we can still be friends. And you never know. If I ever break up with her, or whatever, she breaks up with me, if it doesn't work out, then, we could get back together. He literally said this. And then he wanted to do our little thing, which was... There was a couple of things. Oh yeah, one was where we played as, I don't know anybody here watches it, but I forgot it. Open all hours. Well, he wanted to... One of our things when we were together was role-playing as... He wanted to role-play where he was Granville and I was his Mavis. But I decided I don't want to do that. So I said we can role-play as Arkwright and his woman. I've forgotten. Gladys Emmanuel, that's it. So that's who we role-played as. I didn't really want to do it, but it was his thing. He wanted to do it, so I thought, that's our thing to role-play every now and again as those two. So we did. It was just always this one particular scene we role-played where she was in her bedroom and he knocked on her window in the middle of the night and she just opened the window and said, "What are you doing at this hour, knocking on my window, you great fool?" And he would say, "I'm just passing to travel these days up a ladder," or something. So he wanted to role play that. So every time we had one of those, it was just weekly. Every Wednesday, I think it ended up being. It was always Wednesday with these bloody video calls. We did like a Skype call every Wednesday. So after my dad left, because it was done deliberately because I would always get dressed for my dad coming. So because I was already dressed because my dad had been, I said, okay, I'll do Wednesday every week for us to Skype call. So we did that. I was dressed. So it was every Wednesday. So every Wednesday we'd do that role play. And the other thing we'd do, it said we were going to do something. We would do this thing where we'd put up our hand, but instead of doing that, we'd do that and have it as a paw. And say, swear on the paw. and then whoever said that, the other one would put up their paw and go, swear on the paw. And that's how we did it. So when we broke up, he wanted to do both of those things for one last time. He wanted to do the role play thing for one last time. He wanted to do the role play thing, and he wanted to do the swear on the paw thing. And I thought that was quite inappropriate because that's just something between us two when we were together. So doing it now that he was breaking up with me, it was just a bit wrong, I guess. I don't know. Tacky, cheesy, I don't know. Just wrong to do it when it was our thing. But like an idiot, because my reaction was stupid, I just did it anyway. Both of those. And I should have said fuck off because it's not appropriate now. But I didn't. I didn't even go mad. I was like, oh, well, I saw this coming anyway, because there was like loads of signs that this was going to happen anyway. And I said, oh, okay. I don't know. Dodged another bullet there. Nut job. Bit fanatical. Funny request. Oh, really? What a twat. Yeah, it was pretty shit. And I told my mum and Granny Isabel, which were the two people that knew about the whole things with those two. And they were the two pressuring me to break up with one of them and just pick one of them. I'm like, why can't I just have fun? I wasn't depressed about it, really, but I wasn't too happy about it. I got it on video and everything, but I don't know where the video is now. But I did get a video of it. Carrying on. I don't know. I just thought that it wasn't about depression. It was just about, I thought, well, we're breaking up on good terms. And I'm not going to be the classic woman who gets upset and starts yelling and screaming and stuff, like most probably would. I thought, oh, I'm going to be different. And I'm going to break up on, we're going to break up mutually on good terms instead. I just thought that that was the right thing. I thought breaking up on good terms and parting as friends was a good idea at the time. But afterwards, I'm thinking, I should have gone mad. Or when he first started gallivanting with this woman, I probably should have gone more mad. I realise I've done the wrong thing now. But unfortunately, I've just done what my mum did, which was basically she was a fucking pushover. I can't remember what I was going to say about that. Yeah, sounds reasonable. But then never again, no. What was it now? It's like, okay, so my mum was the kind of person that if my dad, say for instance, or whoever he was with, was like involved with somebody else, like as a friend, she wouldn't get jealous of it. She would trust him, because that's what you're supposed to do when you're in a relationship. You're supposed to trust the other person and not automatically assume, oh, they're having an affair or something's going on. You're not really supposed to like go mad because, well, you're supposed to still give them their freedom to an extent and not make them think, well, they're not allowed to have friends who are girls or boys, if it's the opposite, so if you're a man and your wife has male friends, you can't say, well, you can't have male friends because, I'm going to be jealous of all of them and you can't have any freedom and anymore, I'm possessive of you. You can't do that, apparently. And vice versa. You're not a pushover, though, so that's good. Yeah, that's good. It is good. So my mum was the kind of person who thought that, if they're yours to start with, they won't go in the first place. They won't be tempted by anybody else if they're yours. So it's like, let it be. It's like, oh, well, I'll just let it be. If they happen to run off with a person, then, oh, well, it was not meant to be, or, oh, it was, it was what. It's like, well, do you have that mindset, or do you have the mindset of, well, fight for them? Like, fight for them. And I guess my mum didn't. My dad didn't either. My mum nor my dad did it. You could be naive, though, and overly trusting. Excuse me, how very dare you? I am not naive and overly trusting. How rude. I don't trust anybody. Nope. I'd like to, but I don't. I don't even trust my own mother. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so, as I was saying, I'm suspicious of everybody. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I know. People can be naive and overly trusting when you're with someone. Not them, but my mum was. But for instance, a woman is in a relationship with a man and he starts to talk to another woman, she will give him a hard time about it all the time. And if it seems like he's straying or starts to stray, she will shout at him and give him a hard time about it. And basically the man ends up thinking, well, it's not worth it. You know, I'm going to stop because because I want a quiet life. I don't want to get hard time being given to me by my wife all the time. So now I'm thinking what I should have done with him. He's called George, by the way, the long distance one that broke up with me. The other one was called Sam. It's pretty safe to say that they probably don't watch my streams by now. It's been years, but you never know. But who cares? It doesn't really matter to me either way. If anybody watches my streams, I am gonna sometimes call people out about their shit. And as for my neighbor who said, oh well, the reason why people are afraid to get close to you is because they're afraid that you will say stuff to them on YouTube, say stuff about them on YouTube. And I'm like, well, yeah, if they deserve it, of course I am. I am going to I am going to you know, call people out on their bullshit if they give me shit. And just because a few people have come to me threatening me and having a go at me, I'm not going to stop. Like at first I thought, oh, I'll just stop to keep the peace, but now I'm like, you know, then they get away with it, don't they? It's like that Mark and the other one, the other George, Mark and the other George, you know, the one who I made videos of, and I didn't even mention their names or they didn't have their pictures in it. But they had a go at me and they said that they were going to report my things and they were going to take me to court and this and that and the other. Remember those people? Well, they think that they've bested me, but they haven't really, because loads of people had already seen the videos before they got them down. So they thought that they have bested me and got one up over me because I took the videos down. But in actual fact, loads of people had already seen the videos by the time they got them taken down. So they haven't really. So as far as I'm concerned, I've got pro-revenge on them or whatever. Because people have still seen the way they were. And they said, oh, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just this and bleh. They were clearly inappropriate. They were clearly being inappropriate, yet people took their side, saying, "Oh, he doesn't seem like a bad fellow. He just do," and he made excuses for him. It's okay, Issa, you're just in time. The art, yeah, that's good. Very interesting, the big G. Anyway, so George. So what was I saying about George? I forgot now. Oh yes, I should have given him more of a hard time and maybe fought for him as such. So when he was starting to stray with this other woman who he'd met, who was also long distance, by the way, so it's not even like, oh, he preferred her because she was closer to him. My mum said, oh, he probably just prefers her because she's willing to give him sex. This is what you were gonna say. Yeah. So I kind of am calling George out for this. And Sam, you know, he was like borderline abusive and he was always picking arguments with me and he was always doing this at me and pressuring me into doing stuff. he was the one. He didn't really pressure me to do anything sexual. He did suggest stuff, but he didn't actually force me into doing it. He did the whole, oh well, we've been dating now for 4 months. That's a long enough time for us to get to know each other before having sex. Yeah, this one's my mum's sketch pad. All right, so I want her to get me this one then. I didn't even look at the front. Well, that's the good one where the paper is good. Remember I said that the paper was shit on the other one, the one I got from the works. Okay. So yeah, a lot of these you've seen. I'm sorry, I've only got like probably 3 that you haven't seen. I'm so sorry about that. So I forgot to bring this drawing pad up with me last night, so I had to use the shit one with the shit paper that you have to really give it some welly to get a line from the pencil. So I have to go over it several times to make the pencil more bold. Whereas with this one, it's just dead easy. The paper is just better. It's like bloody cardboard or some shit. I owed a blowy. It's been 2 days. I was thinking Sam was the abusive type. That is why you were going to say. Fluffer puffers. Yeah, fluffers. Have you seen my fluffer puffer? I still think that boss should fight against that store ban. Yeah, it's unjustified. Okay, here's a fluffer puffer. That's Jeremiah all puffed up in feral mode. Yeah, next year they will have forgotten. I was going to just go back. In fact, maybe I should have gone. You know, when Simon took me to, like, past there to go to the Holly's surgery, and maybe I should have told him to go to Morrison's to take me there for lunch and see if they'd have tried to stop me from going in. They probably will. They'll probably keep it going for millions of years unless the freaking manager dies or some shit. Mussy was all fluffed up the other day. Oh, so cute. So he's all fluffed up eating pizza because that's what they do. They go to the table, they fluff up, and they eat pizza. Look at his little muzzle and his little paw. The stray boy was tapping Gengong on our back door. That's so cute. And there's the Fluffers version, the little one. I'm not really happy about this picture, but maybe you guys will like it. That's Fluffers. Fluffers! So there's a wholesome one for you. So I'm going to have to, when I'm monetizing this video, I'm going to have to do loads of things because so far I've swore. I've talked about controversial topics. And now I'm going to show sexual art. So I have shown you this one. But oh well. I'll show it to you again. Just to extra get demonetized. Look at their face. I think it's all blurry anyway. It's shit anyway. Shit quality. I have got a couple of good ones. So we've got some dogs here. I was practicing doing dogs. Kind of looks like JD a little bit. Dogs. And I got another one in my diary. So that's my new diary that I'm doing. I've got some drawings in here before I show you the real good ones. So I just practiced doing realistic dogs to see if I could do it from memory. Most of them look a little bit shit, but I try to do it from memory. Where's the dog one? The dog one's gone. Oh, there it is. I thought that was really good. If I get it to do what I want it to do, that'd be fantastic. I'm live, am I? Oh, that's nice to know. I thought I was live the whole time, but apparently not. And here's some fashion designs of mine. I was trying to do the hands more realistic, but they look just bloody terrible. I really like that top. That lady has a top like that. But it's like a ruffled shirt. That dog again. That's a fluff. That's Jeremiah's daughter dressed like that. Okay, so this one is Jeremiah is doing his mating call. So recently Jeremiah has been on heat and he's been just going out meowing all over the place. How cute is this? So he meowed in the house, even though there's not going to be any females around. He meowed in the house. And then he went out and about with his wife and kid, his daughter, who's a teenager. And he meowed a lot, and his wife and teenage daughter got really embarrassed. Because he was meowing all over the place, and everybody would see it, hear it. Mewing. Hello?
Can you get me a cup of tea? I'm gagging.
Alright, just remember you won't have cup of teas for after dinner.
Well, I'll have one.
You'll have one.
We'll come in and,
Right.
just I'm gagging now.
Right. Of course.
I'll see you in a bit.
See ya.
Don't forget, do the one for visit, well, whatever's nearest to after 129, whatever.
Shit, isn't it?
Food.
Food. Yes, I can. Oh, she's supposed to be wearing leggings, but I forgot and I fucked that up. Oh well. Yes, he's mewing from the balcony. Isn't that cute? In his sun god palace. And that's his wife. Yeah, it's cute, innit? And then I did this one the other day. It's another family portrait. I know you guys love them. So I decided to do him in a different outfit other than his suit. I thought I'd do him in a very revealing and sexy outfit for his sun godness. He's got a crown on. Look, I think I'm improving on the paws as well. I wanted to do a full body one where you could see his paws, because so far they're always cut off. I think he looks a little short in this though, but he's not supposed to. It's just that I couldn't fit them all in. Family portraits are really nice. Thicker thighs. He has got very thicker thighs. See, this is showing how he's just, like Becky said, it's like, it shows that his gluttony is getting to him. So basically, in this picture, I was going to write a thing saying this is a rare occasion when the sun god Jeremiah is actually or lay down or draped on some sexy, sexy fainting couch or some pillow throne thing. A throne of like pillows and stuff, and chaise longue things, and loads of pillows. And he is, you know, being lazy and gluttonous, eating lots of food, and, you know, as a result, he gets fat. And of course, he's waited on by loads of servants, so, you know, he doesn't have to do anything. I'm not supposed to go down there to show that he's got like this really small. He's got a nice overhanging belly there. Sensor bot is active already. Family portraits are nice. Yeah, I like the thickest guys. So this is a rare occasion when Jeremiah is upright to do this family portrait. As you guys like the family portraits, I'll do more of them. This is supposed to be a full family portrait, actually, with all of his kids in, but I couldn't fit them all in with his wings. At first I was going to do one of the kids like here, but I thought, oh, it'll just cover his really nice wing, so I didn't want to do that. I thought she's already covering one of his wings, and I wasn't happy about that. So what I did was, before I drew her in, I decided to take a picture of him on his own with his full wing drawn in. Yeah, more. And so I took a picture of him on his own with his wings before I put her in the picture. And you know, and then once I took a picture, I drew her in. So now I'll have a separate one that I can colour in, just him on his own. Do that though, as long as it's not the entire wing covered. Oh, I kind of don't want to do it now. And then there's his daughter. This one is the daughter that he had with Daisy, which is that, and she's dressed in like a more queen-like outfit. So I'm going to put her name, what is it again? Fiona, I think. I couldn't remember whether she was called Fiona or Sophie. I can't remember what I decided on. Maybe Sophie can be one of his other daughters. He's got many children, you see. But this is the latest one he had with Daisy. Daisy's only child with him. Because he's got many children, but with many different women, so. But he's only involved with he's had loads of kids with loads of different women, and he's not involved with all of them. He's involved with about 3 of them currently. And this is his youngest, I think. Technically, she's not really the youngest, but she's the youngest he's involved with right now. At about 13. And she's Daisy's only child. But the other 2 that he's involved with is Charles, who he had with the redhead curly haired maid when he was dating Daisy, and because she wouldn't put out before they got married, he just went with another maid and had Charles, and they passed him off as. So I'm not sure if Charles knows that Daisy's not his mother. I think Charles still thinks that Daisy is his mother. He doesn't know. But he's actually, it was very scandalous, so they decided to cover it up and say it was Daisy's child. But it's the maid's child. And then we've got Janice, who he had with another woman, Nancy, and he's involved with Nancy and Janice. So I was going to put Janice like here somewhere, and then I was going to put Charles here. All three of the kids he's actually involved with, I was going to put here. But then I decided I don't really want to cover the wing. And if I put her behind, she'll just be too hidden. So I decided to just have it with the three of them for now. You have to try and fit in the names here. And he's just recently had some other children who are quite small, but he's not really involved with them as much. Just her eyes looking over his wing. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, I'm gonna add her here. So she'd be taller than her, but only slightly, because she's not as tall as Jeremiah. She's like considerably shorter, but again, because I can't really do the sizes they really are, so he's like a lot taller than that, because he's like a lot taller, slightly shorter, and Janice would be, but here like almost as tall as him, and that's not really good. She's like an outcast. Poor Janice is actually his favorite, so she can't really be an outcast. She's the favorite daughter, but she does sometimes feel outcasted. So I'm really sorry if this picture is crappy. I will try and sort it out later. That is crap, sorry. So pretty much in Falcon Wolf culture, the female raises the children, and the male, the dad, doesn't really have much or anything to do with the children usually. They're usually the alphas of the herd, so technically the male would be looking after everyone. So he wouldn't have time to individual kids by all these different females. So the females would be mainly involved in the lives of the offspring. But the male wouldn't really have much involvement until they're older anyway, and they get suckled by their dads at about 13 plus. Because the male's milk is a lot more richer and creamier than the female's. And they need that for growing strong and big. Yeah, she's just looking over. So she would probably have a leg there. A leg there. Somewhere. Maybe a bit of fluffy tail. She doesn't have wings. Her mother's a regular wolf, which are pretty much inferior in the eyes of falcon wolves, because they don't have wings. So normal, regular wolves are inferior to them.
Oh, I'll get off my ass.
Sorry, I forgot again. I got,
Well, you know.
what's the word? Involved in drawing.
Two things I've asked you for.
I know.
I've not got. You've even taken the lid off. Still not sorted.
Huh? I didn't do that.
Doesn't matter, Kirsty. I know where I lie with the thingy. Yeah. through the day, I got through it. Worst decision, I mean, I made plenty of bad decisions, but that's the worst one ever. Don't forget 7 o'clock, so you've got to be there, you've got to be, you know, that kind of thing.
I'll go get it.
I even have to remind you about eating. What you have to do. And by the way, you know when it's been out in the rain, I'd appreciate you follow through regarding that. One is wiping down, 2 is turning it wet. And I thought, oh, where's all the stuff that came out of the washing machine? Because in it are my socks, and even the new socks in there. There must be any of it. I need to change my socks.
Nope, that's not the right one. No. Can't even see it. I'm going to turn this on. There's some trees. There's a tree over there. You can't really see it. If I look at me, I'll be able to use the... God. Oh, terrifying. I need to be able to use the torch. And then I'll do the cup of tea, but then I got carried away and forgot. Oh, God's sake, it went off. Hope everybody's not disappeared. If you watch it from the beginning, you'll see my entire outfit. I'm just a bit too cold to show it off right now, but I showed it off earlier when I was warm. Sorry about that. Okay, so seeing as how that one's my last drawing, so no more to show you right now. I'm really happy with that. I really am happy with that. I have got a new drawing upstairs, but I'll show you the original pictures of them all so you can see the family properly, which could be considered a family portrait and still showing art anyway. Okay, I can move all these really packets of dog food and dog treats, I mean. Okay, here they are. Okay, so there's Jeremiah, the full coloured picture that needs laminating. If you will care to unblur. No? Okay then. So we're looking at blurry pictures. So there's Jeremiah, the original official picture of him. There's his father, Lino, the big fat, sexy, fat, huge, enormous mafia boss with a nice big fat overhanging belly, cute little man boobs, nice teats that stick out, thick thighs, look at his fat crotch, his thick hips, sexy boy, fruffer puffer tail. In the handsome boy. Need to watch later from the beginning. Oh, I actually hate that word. I do want to get a copy of this latest portrait. This one? Oh, you mean the one I've just drawn? He does look really smart, doesn't he? Look, you can see he's got a nice hourglass shape there. Look at all this shit here. I don't know how that's gotten on it. he lives in this bag that I've got my pictures in, so I don't know. I'll get, like I say, just wait until I've coloured it in. I'm doing Christmas ones at the moment, so I won't get to colouring that in for a while. And I've got all my, comics to colour in. I've got loads to do before I even get to that one. I should get on with it, really. So there's their father. So don't they look good together, the father and the son? They look so similar to each other. He's obviously way bigger. He's 7 foot, and he's like 6 foot or something. 5'9", 6 foot. But he's still growing, so he is going to get bigger. He will stop growing until he's about 40. When he's 40, he's officially a, Not all falcon wolves get to be as big as Lino, weight-wise or height-wise. But he will, see this how he's like, his son. So he's only still a pup yet. He's about 28 or probably 30 by now. Isn't he cute? Jeremiah's still growing taller and wider. Yeah, he's still a growing boy. He's technically still a pup at 28. He's still a little pup. And yes, he does suckle on his father's teats. And he does so for hours so he can continue growing. So he has to suckle pups for quite a long time, so he often gets sore teats. Now, he has decided, he has got pups now of age to be suckled by him as their father, but he has made the conscious decision not to suckle them. Because if he starts, he's going to have to continue until he's like his own father's age, and that's basically suckling for like 30 years, and that will give you sore teats. Or on the computer, and then how do you do it? I could do colour pencils for now, but I usually do it on the computer. This is digital, as you can see. Pencils are always, I mean, I've seen pencil pictures that other people have done, and they're so vibrant, and they look as good as digital art or even painted art. But whenever I use, it doesn't matter, as I thought, oh, maybe it's a certain type of pencil that looks so good that it looks like digital art. But I've tried all different kinds of pencils, and they always look so fadey and washed out, and you can see all the streaks. But other people manage to somehow do it so that there isn't any pencil lines and streaks. But I had no idea how they do it. So mine always just look dead. Well, the colours are kind of fadey. It doesn't look as deep as this. It doesn't matter how much, I mean, I go over it several times as well. It doesn't matter how much I go over colouring it with pencil. It never looks vibrant and as, deep colours as these, especially the yellow. The yellows wouldn't look this good. The yellows would look virtually white with a hint of yellow. So it looks shit. By the way, Jeremiah only has this blonde fur because he's the sun god. If he was mortal, he would have brown hair. Like his father. His fur would be white. His hair would be brown. And here is his mother. Copics pens, I believe. So they look good together, don't they? Look at these paws. It's got the cutest paws. I started colouring her in, but I've lost it. So, I mean, it's there somewhere saved, but I don't know where it is. I think I had to reset the computer. So she will be on backup somewhere. But I've not come across it. I was trying to do something different. I was trying to do it so the shading was at the front and the light was behind her. But I'm not sure I'm entirely happy with it. I was going to try and do a really good background too. Puffy tail and cute paws. The cutest paws. And there, of course, is Jeremiah's son. That's Charles, the skinny, scrawny muppet. He's about 16 now. This picture was originally supposed to be 13, but a few years have gone by now, so he would be 16. And he's got some teeny tiny dainty paws as well. Some teeny tiny dainty paws. So his colouring is white, with darker blonde hair than his father. And his wings have like the markings here and here that are yellowish. And his stripe is sort of a light brown, virtually blonde sort of thing. And his eyes are blue as well, like his father's. Look at the paws. paws. He's got kind of a puffy tail as well. So they look good together as well, all the family. And then here we have his oldest daughter. That's the one you see in the picture. She's called Janice and she's about 6. I really like this picture. This was my original picture for the YouTube profile picture, but her coloured in. And people thought it was me, but it wasn't really supposed to be me. It was just representing some of my art. And also, people kept saying that it looked like a 12-year-old had drawn it, and I thought, I don't think so. That's one talented 12-year-old. And this is her mother, who's called Nancy. And there we go. And there is his latest one. So she is 13. I did the back as well. I was supposed to do that on all of them. Has the right curves. Yeah. It's a bit shit. It's just because you've done them in ink pen, they look more fat almost. They do look good. I've done these in all pencils. I didn't want to ruin it by doing, you know, going over with pen and then it ruined. I mean, she looked quite different before I went over with in pen, but I actually liked the change. Her eye was sort of more open, but as you can see, it's very blacked out there. But her eye was actually more wide open. But now it looks like she's looking softly instead, and her lips were sort of, where you could see like white, and now it's just all black. It looks like she's wearing freaking black lipstick or a really thick eyeliner. For the pencil. Yeah, it does look better. This was back in the day when I used to just do pencil and then go over it with pen, which I've stopped doing because I don't think it looks as good. Well, that's that then. He needs laminating because he's getting ruined. Managed to preserve the sexy boy. Lord Jeromia. I need to write on the back of it before I laminate it though, because I sometimes forget. Let's do it now. Squished. Oh, you idiot. That one was laminated very badly. It went all bent. Then you get a nice view of some tinsel. Jeromia. So I'm just going to date it. I drew him in August. I probably coloured him more like in September. So I'm just going to put August anyway. I don't know when about. The sun god Jeremiah. What else should I put? The sun god Jeremiah, son of Don Lino. Son underboss. He has lots of power and privilege as the sun god and as underboss in Don Lino's Mafia. I can't wait to make the cartoon of Jeremiah's story and Don Lino's Mafia. Oh, see, I've already screwed up. Good thing I'm doing it in pencil. He's a very good mafia person because he is very violent and he is not very... He has very little sympathy or empathy or feelings. Now, here we go. There's the father and daughter together. They don't look quite good, but she's blonde, so she does kind of look like him. There's them two together, and you can see them two together as well. She looks more like him because she's got wings. She doesn't have wings because she happened to not get any because her mother is like a normal wolf. So they don't have much involvement with their kids. But he is more involved with these three. As you can see, she's considerably shorter than him. He's freaking huge. He's probably closer to 6 foot now. because he's a growing boy. And the others are like average, normal height, while he's like so much taller than they are. Furuffa puffa cartoon. Flufferuffa flufferuffa fluffers. Aren't they cute? Such a handsome boy. Such a handsome boy. And being fat and gluttonous and lazy is part of having status. So he has a lot of servants to wait on him hand and foot. So he's usually sat around getting fat, like his big fat father. Look at how massive and flabby his belly is. He's so cute. Look at his cute face. Don't you just wish they were real so you could just fluff her off a puff of their hair? And cuddle their big fat chunky waists. You know, you could take your hand and you could ruffle their hair. It would be very soft. As you can imagine, their hair would be very soft. You cute little boopy boop 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 boop. He's got a smushed up snoot. Look at his smushed up snoot. Boop 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 boop. Oh my god, how sexy and handsome and sexy and fluffy and puffy and soft is he. Soft hair and very soft squishy belly. Yeah. I bet it's very wobbly, isn't it? I've actually started an animation of him where he's like grabbing his belly and making it wobble. Don't you just want to stick your head between his thick thighs? So what would happen is your forehead would be about here. And here. And your nose would be in between here and your cheeks would be here. No, that would be so lovely, and you could just sleep like that because it'd be so comfy and snuggly. Or you could rest your head on his big fat fluffer puffer belly. Oh, so cute! Look at the face. So cute. How cute is his face? I think he's got the cutest face ever. Cutest face ever. Grumpy boy. And as you can see, he's got a bit of an underbite going on. He's so cute. Oh, smushed up nose. And he's got a cute face too. Look at his cute face. Look at how handsome and sexy, and he's more chubby than his father's more fat. So as you can see, his hair is pretty much made of fire. Oh, and do you know what happens when he gets mad? He does the whole Hades thing. Like, you know, in Hercules, when Hades got mad and his hair would just blow up in like these big, huge flames, and the flames would go along the shoulders. So with Jeremiah, his wings go on fire as well. So he's got fire wings, fire hair coming off, fire coming off his hair and shoulders whenever he gets mad, whenever he blows up. So that's quite terrifying. I think his wife and kids is pretty much scared of him by now. He is a scary boy. He tries not to be, but he's pretty violent and he has a hot temper. So does he as well. You can see he's grumpy boy. He's always getting mad. He's always getting mad. But look how cute he is. Wouldn't you just like to cuddle up to him? So fat. I wish I had more pictures to show you. But I just don't. You've got to do a picture of him flamed up. I will. And black and white. Big bum. See, when I drew this, I meant to do it so you could get the paws in, but I didn't. Oh. A close-up is always good. Look at this. So fat. I should have done him a tie, but I wanted to show off how tight his shirt was. Tight his shirt was. Cute. His lamination is kind of coming apart, though. Look at that. That is just dreadful. Poor thing. This is the original, and I just don't want it ruined. It's all come off. Poor thing. Hope it doesn't get any worse. I don't know how that's happened. Don't get in trouble. These ones have actually come apart because it's actually card I've used. So I've learnt my lesson. The other ones haven't come apart because they're paper. preserve the original picture. Well, that one's coming off as well. So it's not really very good, is it? He's dead skinny and scrawny and inferior, as you can see. He's quite neglected. He doesn't really get fed that often. And neither does Jeremiah's wife. Pretty much keeps her skinny. Okay, I'm gonna go and sort out the food then. I guess you guys can see my outfit one more time before I stop the stream. For puffers, yeah, framing pictures. I'd like to get prints of them actually. Come on, why aren't you turning round? Why aren't you turning round? You stupid fuck. You stupid fuck. I've got a funny video of me playing this game and I say, stop it, you stupid fuck. It was very funny. I laughed my head off afterwards. My first gaming video. And I yell at the wolves, say you stupid fuck. It was so funny. Loving the scarf. Oh yeah, sorry, you're supposed to be seeing the shirt. Not the frickin' scarf. It is a great scarf though. I just start to get used to wearing the damn thing. Ow. Ow. Oh no. This is freaking wet. Hey, check out my new diet. I'm having these for breakfast. Some honey, crunchy, nutty things. I'm presuming they've got honey in them. Outfit looks nice. Thanks a lot. Oh, Seb has come a bit late. Don't forget to watch the stream back because you'll see my artwork. If you want to skip the rest, you can always skip it and just see the artwork. More art. I need to show. Especially coloured art would be nice. I'm thinking of creating a new Facebook page, especially for my furry art. So I'll have one for my furry art, and then one for my regular art. Of realistic stuff. Come on. What else could I create to try and market my artwork? I've been told I'm not marketed very good. Oh, I'm freezing. Oh no. I could have put the heater on. Ugh. Great, there's food all over this packet now. Well, not with my hair being flat. Don't take pictures of me and my hair being flat. So watch the stream from the start. Okay, that'd be great. She'll probably come in to check on me in a minute, so hopefully she'll see me doing the food. It's typical that I have to stop the stream when I, you know, have more viewers. But not many actually interact. What is it? I got 5 likes, yeah. So I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to support me on Patreon and buy my art. Or else I'll do a hit on you, because I'm the mafia underboss, you see. So don't forget to buy all my art and commission me, whether you want to or not. It's not a choice. You gotta do it. It's an offer you cannot refuse. Give me loads of money, that's the offer. You can just give me money for no reason at all if you like. That would also be fine. And don't forget Christmas is coming up. Wireless. And or them AirPod things that stick out of your ears like this, that hook, like what they call it, they look like shower heads and they just stick in like that. So I don't like those other kind that, you know, you just plonk in like those Raycon ones. I don't like those. I don't like those types. They just fall out of my ears. I like the ones that hook on like this. But headset would be cooler. It would make me look like a freaking big boss. So yeah, nice. One of them. Because I find the wires really annoying on the plug-in ones. Because I have got a headset one, but it's annoying. And they irritate my ears. And you get caught in everything. And you have to have your phone with you all the time or on your person. So I'd like to get some. And also, I want loads of ruffle shirts, and I want like lots of. I want a crown that looks like a thing that makes me look like a sun god or something. And maybe those like cuffs, like golden cuffs that you put here or here or here, that make me look like a sun god, and like a necklace with a sun or something on it. That would be nice. What else? I want a corset, not a corset, a waistcoat thing. Yeah, Egyptian crown. Yeah, I need more Egyptian, like, sun god, like, accessories so that I can look like a sun god like I am. I really need my hair blonded as well. I'm gonna get it done. I don't need any art supplies right now. I'm fine for that. Maybe a pad like that one. But it's not very interesting for a Christmas present. Oh, and breast reduction cream. There's a cheap one. It's 30 quid. It's called Cute Bee Cream. Get me loads of that, because that might take me ages to, because it's only like a tiny tube like this big. So I'm going to have like one use out of it, and that'll be it. So I need like a box of those would be nice. Because I really, really want my boobs to be small already. I'll make a list. I got a list, hang on. I've showed it before, but I'll just show it again. Sorry, caps, Amazon wishlist. Those things don't work. It's probably the wrong way round. Maybe if I do it this way. You can't read it because it's the wrong way round. This is basically everything I've said. Most of these is just stuff. I don't expect people to buy me DVDs though, by the way. That's for my mum. My mum's going to be buying me DVDs. Okay. But the thing I want the most for Christmas, most of all, is preferably a big, fat, sexy boyfriend who looks like Jeremiah. Well, he won't be fat, but, you know. A boyfriend who looks like Jeremiah. Or a girlfriend who looks like Daisy. So I can role play with them. But no one probably can get me that. Because not only are they very rare, but it's also unlikely that they'll probably like me back. So that's why I'm hoping that the new neighbours who move in to the two houses that are for sale, I'm hoping will be that kind of person. Would be nice. Preferably someone nice who actually likes me. Would be lovely. Wishlist on file and link onto page. Okay, I'll try. I've got an Amazon wishlist, but it's actually my mum's account. I actually created a new Amazon account for myself, but for some reason I did a different name to my real name, and I don't actually know why I did that. I wish I could change it, but I suppose I can't now. Make your own. A different name. Oh, and here's my mum's Christmas list. She stole it from my diary. Just do another. Make another one. How many are you allowed to have? That many Amazon accounts? Right, time to watch Pole Dark. Let's hope we get to see lots of fat guys shirtless in it this time. Well, do you know what? They're actually, I mean, another series, but apparently they're going to be doing another series and continuing it. Well, if anybody who's working on Pole Dark, watching my streams or find it later, I urge you to make sure there's loads of fat people in it and make them, you know, appear shirtless sometimes would be absolutely lovely. And also the same with Bridgerton. That is another one that's going to be, they're going to be continuing doing another series of that. So again, if if anyone who, working on it, or I even urge people who are not working on it to just like request if you can, like in the there's like a suggestions page you can go on to urge, if enough people say like, oh, I want to see more fat people in these things, or at least like chubbier people shirtless in these things, then, you know, I would urge you to say that, because, you know, they're more likely to take more notice if it's more people requesting it than just me doing it. So far I have, I think it was the Larkins, I can't remember, but the new series called the Larkins, which is an updated version of Darling Buds of May. I have reviewed it. I have put my own review on there, if they don't want to show like big fat ones. They did show a big fat one on in the background when they were doing the strawberry picking scene. There was a couple of fat men shirtless, but it was very far in the background. Many accounts. I know, but won't they suss you out with, you know, having the same bank account for all the accounts? Not that I could do anything on it anyway, because I can't use my money. Look at the squishy cuteness. Fat thing. Fat plush. Look at this overhanging fat, huge, enormous belly. See you later. See you later. Don Nino plushie.